Hi guys, Layla here, and I'm back with another unboxing. So today I got the Tombow dual brush pens and a Pentel little water brush just in case if I needed to use it, because I wanted to start testing out these water-based markers with this little Pentel brush pen. I think it will just make it easier. And so basically I'm doing this unboxing because a lot of you guys have told me about the Tombow dual brush pens, and I'm getting used to them. Well, I'm getting used to using water-based markers a lot. As you know, if you are a part of this channel, you probably have seen that I've worked with tons of different alcohol-based markers, and I try not to discriminate. I like to use water-based too. So basically I'm just going through and opening this, and this is the 96 set that comes with its own little stand. So I was really excited about that. And you build it up and you just put your markers right in the little slots. And I got the 96 count because I love colors, and I always like to make sure that I have enough color range when it comes to markers and using them. So now I'm just going through and opening up the desk stand, and you just set it up all by yourself. It's not that complicated. You've got the base, you've got the upper part, and then it comes with four pillars, and it's like Legos, to be honest. You just take the pillars, put them in the sockets on the four corners, and then you place the upper part on top, and you've got your little stand for your markers. This isn't the most stable holder, I guess you could say. I've tried moving them, and you gotta make sure you really grab from the base of the holder, because if you don't, the base will fall out from underneath and the markers will all just come crashing down. So this isn't extremely sturdy. It's just a place to just store your markers when you found a spot to put them. It's not really something you would take, as a mobile kind of thing. So I go ahead and I lay out all my colors, and I'm really interested in color swatching them. But first, I really wanted to see how they looked in the stand. So I put them all in and sorted them all out. And one of the issues I have with this desk stand is that if you happen to pull a marker out from the middle, it's so difficult to find its place later when you want to put it back. And it's kind of a minor issue, but at the same time, when you pull out 5 or 10 markers from the middle area and you're finished using them and you're going to put them all back, it's tedious and just frustrating after a while trying to find all those little tiny slots to put your markers back into. And so the Tombow dual brush pens have two tips, and the first one is a versatile flexible nylon brush tip and a fine tip for smooth lines with a single ink reservoir, ensuring that you have exact color match on both sides. And basically you can create fine, medium, or bold strokes by a change in brush pressure, or you can draw consistent lines for borders and graphics and tight drawings with the fine tip. And then along with this set comes a blending palette, which Tombow says has a unique surface that allows blending and mixing using your dual brush pens. So you lay down your colors on the surface, and then you use the blender pen as a wet brush to mix the colors and apply to your artwork. And like I said before, the ink is water-based and it's blendable, odorless, and acid-free. This set, like I said before, includes 96 colors, including a colorless blender, the desk stand, and the blending palette. And it's great for any project, including coloring, rubber stamping, hand lettering, doodling, journaling, and more. A lot of people say that these are the go-tos for hand lettering. And I do hand letter, not a whole ton, but my main thing for these markers is coloring. And I think I bewilder a lot of people when they watch my videos and they see me using the Tombow brush pens for coloring a character, and they're just like, what are you doing? You don't use them for that. And I'm just like, no, you can. Like, you really can. So it's not just for hand lettering. You can use it for so much more. I use it also for adult coloring, so I like to buy those coloring books that are super, like, come with super fine details. So hence why they're called adult coloring books, because children tend to color outside of the lines. But I'll have you know, I color outside of the lines too a lot, so yeah, I don't know what that says about me. But anyways, so I use it for just a lot of different things, but my go-to is to use these colors or these markers in my own art that I make. And after watching a lot of videos on these myself, I saw one of the techniques was you can place the ink down on the blending palette that this set comes with, and you can use that water brush that I bought as well that you saw in the beginning, and you can pick up the color, so like I'm doing right here now, and then it's literally kind of like watercoloring. And I found that to be cool, so I started with that technique first, only because I wanted to feel comfortable. Because when I started doing some tests with these markers, since they are water-based, I experienced streaking, I experienced the paper being eaten up, and just a lot of different little nuances that I was just like, okay, how do I not have this happen? So I definitely use the water brush a lot, but I'm slowly learning to go ahead and start using the brush pens as is, because you can. It's more like you have to really get in the zone and practice a lot in order to build up that comfort that comes with using them just as a pen. Because otherwise you end up like getting a lot of the stuff, like I said before, the streaking, the paper eating, and so on and so forth. The other cool thing is the pen tips are self-cleaning after blending. So one of the techniques for blending is you can literally touch both brush pens of two different colors together in order to mix the colors, so that when you go to color, the first color comes out from the other brush, and then it self-cleans by pushing out the original ink of the current color that the brush is. And I thought that was really cool. And with the blending palette, it features a blending surface on one side and it has a color guide on the other. And I thought that was awesome. I love to see color swatches, and I color swatch all my product myself anyways, because sometimes the colors on the caps and the color swatches provided by the company don't really end up matching all the time to what the ink color really is, and like after it dries it tends to change a little bit in color and stuff like that. And but I still like the color guide, and I'm so glad that each marker has a number identification for them. That is so important when it comes to markers. I actually own a collection of water-based markers that do not have any identification at all except for the color caps. So that can be stressful because I need to know, as far as color swatches go and identification goes, what matches with what. And so one of the things that Tombow on their site mentions is that for best results, use a smooth, non-textured paper. And I haven't tested a lot of different papers out with these just yet. In this, I am currently using watercolor paper because I just kept experiencing just the marker just being eaten up by the water. So as far as paper recommendations, for right now, I would recommend watercolor paper. But I do then hear on the opposite end of the spectrum that if you use textured paper, sometimes that will damage the nibs. So I'm definitely still learning these and still figuring out what methods to choose and how to go about this. But so far, I really enjoy them. I think the colors are extremely vibrant, and I really just wanted to try them out because I know so many people swear by them. And I'm excited because I also do bullet journaling, and I definitely plan on using these for my bullet journal. And so I bought mine on Amazon, and I paid $135 for the 96 count pack as of this video. They do have smaller 10 count packs as well that cost anywhere from about $15 to $16 on Amazon. And I think that's great for those who don't have the means to shell out $135, but you still want to try these out and see if they work for you. The biggest thing that some artists tend to gripe about is that they are non-refillable. So unfortunately, once you use them, or once you've used all the ink, you gotta get a new one. And I know a lot of y'all got some feelings about pens not being refillable, and I don't blame you guys. When you're spending over $100 for a product, I totally get the idea of having the option of refills rather than throwing the pen out when oftentimes the pen is just fine. It's just the ink is out. And for those interested in knowing more about the character I'm drawing, she is my avatar from GaiaOnline.com. It also used to be known as GoGaia.com when I first joined, forever ago when I was young. But basically it was just a forum type site where you have this cute cartoon avatar that you can build up and you buy clothing for with Gaia Gold. And over the years, they've made just so many items now that I really just enjoy visiting the site every so often to dress up my avatar and get inspiration to draw, a new character that I make up, because there's just so many endless options to make unique sort of characters. So that's basically who this character is, my Gaia Online avatar. Overall though, I had a fun time using them, and I plan to continue with practicing with them in such a way where I don't have to rely on the comfort of a water brush pen. The end goal is to just use them as is, and so I'm really excited to share this journey with you guys as I learn that, because this is definitely not my last video with these. And also, this is not a sponsored review, nor have I been contacted by Tombow in any way to review these. I've just been eyeballing these beautiful pens for a while and really wanted to share my first initial thoughts and impressions on them with you all. So if you enjoyed this video, maybe comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!